Not exactly the race I wanted, fixing a flat tire. Catching you,
oh, I don't know where you
and then I flatted.
Oh, I just told him after Williams Hill I never saw you. I must have looked back after you flatted.
I had to put a tube in. I was about 30 miles in. You know where that long, straight, stretchy downhill was, like going north. I was bombing at it about 35.
Yeah. Good. Good. You look lean. Yeah, no thanks.
Oh, really? They're going to ride longer?
Yeah.
Nice.
When they finish, I mean, they've come a long way for 40 miles.
That's kind of what I was thinking. And
So-
anytime I'm over here, this is like some of the best stuff around.
Yeah.
So guys, this is the Assault on Williams Hill 2025. The Assault on Williams Hill is kind of a ride that's not brand new. I didn't create it. I think Rob Landis actually created this ride many, many years ago. It was not gravel at the time, but I think they rode like laps where I think they did a few laps where they climbed Williams Hill multiple times. And so Williams Hill, it's the second largest hill. It's not really a mountain of any size, but it's a big enough climb in our area where you feel like you're really doing some climbing. It's about a 3-mile climb. It has a little downhill in the middle. And since this is going to be a gravel ride, I threw in Eagle Mountain, which is one of my favorite gravel climbs in the east side of the Shawnee National Forest, Southern Illinois area, and threw in a few other gravel roads. Jenny Ridge is a super short, steep climb, and really this ride, it doesn't have enough gravel to be a true gravel ride. It's close to 50-50, probably a little bit less than 50-50, and some of the gravel is pretty tame and some of it is not. So I flatted, as you can see. We'll talk about my race, but I want to mention that I was just super happy with the turnout because this was an unofficial, unsanctioned, underground sort of race, and it was a lot of climbing, which turned off people. There's a lot of people who just do not want to go do that much climbing in a 40-mile ride. Also, too, I think the fact that it was kind of like not going to be a no-drop ride. I kind of wanted it to be known. This is a race. I don't want a drop ride. Or a no-drop ride where we're stopping all the time and waiting on me and whoever else. So we had some big hitters come. This definitely attracted the quality riders of our area, and Chris Henderson's over there. We got the Team Bike World, Zach Wilkins, Kevin Bohan made it from Team Bike World, and that's just really cool. And I come down with my friend Sean, who's a super strong rider. We had Justin, we had Gabe. So it was a great event that really basically cost nothing to put on. I did offer a funny prize, rubles, or from Belarus, because they have a really cool, like, the money looks really cool. It's got cool animals on it. So, I mean, in fact, this ride cost me nothing to put on, and it was kind of like, in my head, it was kind of like a test event, because I'd like to actually organize and kind of run a gravel race next year. I think we have room on our calendar for another gravel race besides the Dirty South, and the Dirty South is the west side. The east side has a lot of good gravel roads, but I've got a lot to look into before I wanted to make this something people would pay for and go into all of that. So I'm behind Kate here, and we're finishing the first gravel section. This is probably about a mile into the ride, and this is pretty much where the race ends. Now there's about maybe 6 riders behind me, 5-6 riders behind me, and we have a huge split between the people who are trying to race and the people who are just out for a ride, right? So I'm following the group of people that are trying to race here, and they are going to basically make a selection. In fact, it's kind of wild because the selection, Ian said, happened pretty much at this point where that little short climb right there kind of broke up. It's a short but steep climb followed by a sharp right turn here, and it kind of broke the group up, and I was maxed out. I looked down, I was feeling great. You go to a ride like this, you feel awesome, but I looked down, my heart rate was like 178 or something, like 175. It's pretty much close to my max here, and I was like, I definitely do not need to be. Yeah, this is the little hill. There's like a short hill and then a little bit bigger hill where it broke up, and these are very short climbs, but yeah, so you see I'm kind of drifting off. I looked down, saw my heart rate was really high. I was starting to feel my chest kind of tighten up. And so that's Larry Pope. I think he's going to past me, much better climber than me. And then I think Matt Johnson's here. So here I am behind Matt a little bit later. The racers are way ahead, but we are way ahead of everybody else. And so then you're kind of in this like situation, right, where like we could, if I was not, I don't know, 75 pounds heavier than him, we could had a great time working together and riding together. But in a ride like this, unless you're very evenly matched, or the person that is with you wants to just take it easy, you're not going to be able to ride together. It's just too hilly. The hills, you know, especially gravel hills, you know, but any kind of hills, if there's a big power to weight discrepancy between riders, then it's not going to work. So me and Matt kind of tell each other, I stuck with him in the flatter stuff, but I would get dropped on every climb, and I would catch him usually on flats and downhills. I think he was kind of holding up and letting me catch up a little bit. And so, yeah, I was really impressed with Matt, because this guy, like I said, I don't think he's ever done this hard of a gravel ride before. He's been training really hard, doing lots of workouts besides riding too, and lifting and stuff. And he's really invested in bikes. He's got great tires and wheels and a great bike, and he impressed me, because I was kind of expecting him to bonk. You know, I was like, I don't know, this guy's never really done, I don't think he's ever done a ride like this. But so my target was to try to hang on him, and I couldn't. I could not keep up with him on the climbs. I don't really feel bad about that, because like I said, you know, he's, I don't know what he weighs, but not only is he younger, but he's way lighter than me, and so I'm not going to climb with anybody that size. Let's kind of go over the course really quick, and then we'll wrap this video up. This is this is Eagle Mountain, and man, I tell you what, this road can get in some crazy rough shape. It's a difficult climb, and you need to have, you know, the power to wait, but you also have to have a little bit of, like, you know, knowledge and skills about, you know, how to pick a line and get through stuff. It was a long slog up this climb. The downhill is tons of fun, but dangerous. On one of these I've done in the past, a rider, I'd warned them, there's washouts. You have to be super careful. A rider made a very stupid pass and ended up in on the ground bleeding. There were a few cars in this area. I didn't know it, but turkey season is in full effect, and so it's not a big deal. There's not that many turkey hunters out there, but yeah, we had some turkey hunters out, and I guess driving around. And so these are the washouts I'm talking about. Look at that. That would swallow you if you fell down in that thing. You have to be really careful on Eagle Mountain. Any of these gravel roads, especially after, you know, we've had heavy rains, they get washed out. After Eagle Mountain, you have this great gravel road that has several water crossings. Normally there wouldn't be much water in them, but we've had a lot. This is Gape Hollow. It's actually Gap Hollow. They misspelled it when they put in the road signs. It's supposed to be Gap Hollow. This is a sweet road. It is like they built this for a mine, and then the mine shut down. It's like a highway out in the middle of nowhere, and it has just. It's just a mild, gradual, like 1-2% climb for a very long way that kind of slowly ramps up to a little bit steeper climb. This is a downhill on Williams Hill. It's amazing how much fun this can be to go on a gravel bike downhill, because on a road bike it's somewhat scary. The road's pretty rough, it has cracks and holes in it and gravel on it. But on a gravel bike, you can just let off the brakes and just fly down this hill. Feels like you're on a roller coaster. It is a ton of fun. I was probably a few minutes behind Matt, and probably not going to catch him, but I was working hard and I was bombing it downhill. Not this one, it's a little bit later. Thick gravel downhill, and I flatted. I ran lower air pressure, lower than I ever have. I used to run 35s, and on those 35s I would use 35 Gravel King SKs, and I would run about tubes, because I didn't have tubeless at the time, and I ran about 50 to 55 pounds of air, especially in the back, maybe 50 in the front and 55 in the back. And I didn't have flats, you know, back then, but I've switched to tubeless. I've got bigger Gravel Kings now. I'm running 45s, and I haven't had a flat since I've done that. You know, no problems at all. I cut the tire, and I think it's because I decided to go with the silica tire pressure calculator's recommendation for my weight, which told me I should do 36 in the back. I think 35 actually maybe, and I think I did like 36. So definitely for me, for my weight, and for the fact that I do love to bomb hills, should have probably went more like 40 at least. I think in the Dirty South I ran like 42 or something, 43 in the back. So yeah, that I think that low pressure allows a tire to kind of wrap around some sharp rocks and cut. Once the tire's cut, I didn't have a choice but to just put a tube in. It was, not going to hold. It wasn't going to seal. So kind of, I wouldn't say it ruined my day. In fact, it gave me just a chance to stop chasing. I was like, well, at this point, I stopped chasing. I wish I just waited a little bit longer. I waited for a while and nobody caught up with me, so I just finished the last 10, 11 miles on my own. But I kind of wish I'd waited 5 to 10 more minutes and let the rest of the group catch up, so I could have just rode with them. So I'll do a video. There's something that's on my mind about, like something about just like this type of format of riding, this no drop riding, kind of no holds barred riding, race style riding versus the kind of get along gang Care Bear style riding. I want to do a video about that in the future, but I just want to also say I really appreciate everybody who showed up. This was a ton of fun. I love giving people an opportunity to shine and see. It's my brother was just blown away. He helped. My brother was really nice and came out and kind of helped with SAG support a little bit. And most importantly, everybody had a safe ride. I think everybody had fun. Nobody crashed. Nobody got hurt. I was the only person who even had a mechanical. The guys got some fun racing action, and we had a good time. So what could be better than that? Look forward to this ride next year, maybe being a actual race. See you later.